So I think because I was acting nonchalant about it, they didn't believe me. Of course not, because y'all already probably going off the rumor that girl was saying, and whatever I was saying was not believable. Yeah, there was things that I was saying that was semi true, but at the end of the day, like, I really didn't trust a lot of people in there due to the fact of how they were starting to act towards me. So yeah, some of the things were true that I was saying, but I will put a little spin to it. But why y'all so invested in my business like that? And I guess because, like I said, my manager, I don't know, I guess she had a soft spot for me, to be honest, because I got away with a lot of stuff, but that was because I was always at work too. Like, if my kids didn't have to go to school that day, and I knew we was getting up early, I would be there like at 5 o'clock in the morning, 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. Like, I was always at work. It was rare that I had to take off, because at the end of the day, like, I needed my money. I'm a single mom of 6 kids. I needed my money. So I wasn't playing them games, just calling off just to call off. So my mom ended up taking out of her 401k and buying me this little red car. It was a 4-door. And I already told her once I got my income tax, I was going to pay her back, because really she didn't have to do that. But she kept saying, like I said, my mom is not a bad person. Like, that's why I've always given her flowers. Because even though she wasn't a mom when we were younger. And even I could say, because, I'm getting off the topic now, but I was watching the podcast with Cam and Yolanda, and she had said something that hit me so hard, how she was like, she wasn't a good mother, but she was an excellent father. And that hit me so hard, because it made sense. Like, I wasn't a nurturing mother. I was always in my masculine energy. I was not loving. I was not, like, they knew I loved them, but I wasn't emotional like I am now. I'm not sensitive like I am now. I was always having to be the provider. I was always having to be the protector. I always had to be the man to make sure they were good. I always had to be like that. Like I said, I only showed them by buying them stuff. I didn't tell them physically until a couple of years ago that I loved them. I couldn't even bring myself to say that, because I've never had somebody say that to me until I met the second person I had children with. He would just tell me all the time how much he loved me. And it was taboo for me to even say it back to somebody, because like I said, the first person I had children with, we never said that to each other, and we was in a relationship for 5.5 years. So to express that to my children, I couldn't do it. And I'm gonna get into it when I get further into the story, because my children's school will always complain about them missing school, and they didn't understand, like, I had to choose between my children going to school or me losing my job. My job is the only thing that was keeping me afloat. I didn't have a husband. I didn't have a man. I didn't have help. I didn't have nobody by my side to be like, you know what, Ludi, take this year off and just focus on getting these kids back on track. I don't have that. And for the school to always, I had to choose if they're going to school today or for me to make it to work on time. I have to choose if I just want to sleep an hour, because I'm constantly having to get them all ready every morning. So if they're going to miss school, for me to have my head on my shoulders for work, they're just going to have to miss school. So I had to reprogram my mind on how to be a mother, but still having to be the protector and the provider within my family, because it's always only been me. So when she gets me the car, and I guess that's when the girl that Keisha, I guess she thought my peoples came from money. Because when she was like, your mom just, yeah, but my mom been at her job for at that time for almost over 30 years. So of course she accumulated a lot of 401k. It was like my mom still lives like she's living from paycheck to paycheck. I've never been well off. I may act like it because that's just my mind. My mindset always didn't want to be in poverty. My mindset always wanted to be where I was in a place where I was middle class or upper class. It's all about your mindset. So mind you, before my mom had got me my car, Keisha would help me. She would allow me to take her car during my lunch break to go pick up my autistic daughter from school to drop her off at home. That's why I said, a lot of these people may think, I know they're saying, oh, they did this for me. Yes, they did a lot of stuff for me. I also did a lot of stuff for them too. And you're going to hear about what I did for Keisha too. They were in my life for that season, for that moment, just like I was in their life to pour into their lives as well. They choose the road they want to go through. I try to lead y'all to the right path. Y'all want to still go through the path y'all going through. We're all adults. We all got free will. You do what you want. So when I get the new car, whatever, this is coming towards my new surgery. For me to get my weight loss surgery. So my manager pissed me off. She was mad because it was the beginning of the year and that's when they approved my surgery. And I'm like, I actually wanted it the year before, but I ended up, because of my iron, I couldn't, they had to, and then they found out that I had like bacteria in my stomach or whatever. I forgot what it was called. So I had to take pills for like 6 weeks to get rid of it before they could do it. So it ended up being into the next year. And if anybody works in the insurance department, like them first 3 months is hell. So she really didn't want to give me off. But then I got mad. Like I said, I be acting like a spoiled little child, like a little brat. So I understood where she was coming from. But I'm like, you let everybody else just be calling off any other time. And this time I'm really asking for these weeks off and you're telling me no. But she ended up giving it to me because I only had 3 weeks of PTO anyway, so I was going to have to come back anyways. So end up getting the surgery. I had to stay in the hospital for 3 more days because I'm anemic. It took 3 days for my iron and my blood level to go back up because they kept saying I was bleeding somewhere and they didn't know where the blood was coming from. Because they kept checking me and they don't understand where am I bleeding from because my platelets was not going up. My red blood cells was not going up. So I had to stay in the hospital for extra like 2 to 3 days when I really should have been in the hospital for 2 days. So that first couple of weeks, like I was asleep most of the day. Like I really like wasn't like alert like that. But like I said, I heal fast. So like within the first week, I think that Friday, I was back to walking around and stuff like that. I wasn't eating as much. And when I tell you,